joke where it's like, oh, Quentin's not ready and it's already recording.
I will say, kind of as a disclaimer, this sort of gear list that we're gonna do, this isn't really gonna be like a full-on gear list, but we're gonna talk about some of the bigger stuff
Yeah, this is all a lot of bigger stuff.
that I would call I would
100%. Every single piece we're about to talk about, I would say, has made my life better.
Yep, 100%.
For the limited amount of usage, I'd say.
Yeah.
Limited amount of usage made my life better.
I mean, with the pack alone, I've only used that pack to load down with weight and then fucking hike and walk around my neighborhood.
Yeah, I used it to scout for the first time the other day, and I'm using it on my bear hunt. Okay, so I think we should start off with that. Start off with pack. We are both running the same pack this year, I believe.
We are.
The Initial Ascent 5K.
Yeah.
We are both running it full, like the frame and pack.
Yep.
You were running in what color?
It's the gray.
The wolf gray.
Yeah, it's the singular filler.
Yeah, I'm running in the forest green.
Yep.
Dude, can we just start? Let's just start with the ultimate thing: the weight carry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, one, you can go to an expo, and they'll load you with 150 pounds,
I've done
and it is hilarious how well that pack carries the weight.
So like when I went down to the Western Hunt Expo, I did that at the booth. Dude, I thought I put it on with the initial pack, like the initial like weight. They're like, guess the weight. And I'm like, 20. They're like, that's 50. I'm like, what? They're like, close your eyes. They put two more packs on the side. They're like, guess the weight. And I'm like, 7. That was 150 pounds. Sold me instantaneously on it. Then I had my family friend who is 10 years old. She is a 10-year-old girl. No, she's not 10 anymore. She's always 10 in my head. She's like 14. So she's forever 10 in my head kind of thing.
I feel
that. But she's 14. They put 50 pounds on her back with the small women's one. She's like, oh my God, I can walk around. I'm like, dude, that's 50 pounds. And then my homie came over. She's like a 100-pound girl, 5'2", puts on my 72-pound pack with weight. She's like, oh, is this like 25, 15 pounds? It's insane. Like the way the ergonomics of that pack are built with the larger hip belt, the larger hip pad, the shoulder straps, it works. And you're not even like cranking on the load lifters. You barely touch the load lifters and it's comfortable.
Yep.
I've only been backcountry, like backpack hunting for 3 years out of the 4. The first 2 years I ran the Stone Glacier 6900. The reason I didn't go with the 8K, which I kind of wish I did, but at the same time I'm like, is that I don't have any sheep hunts done. If I pull a sheep tag, I'm buying the 8K. Just the way I hunt archery, the way I'm hunting bear with a hot tent setup, I can get that 5K to work perfectly for the amount of time I'm going. So that's why I went with the 5K. But dude, that weight carrying capacity is next level. Like it is a night, but like I was saying about the Stone Glacier is great.
Yeah.
Like I used it for years. Like I didn't have any complaints with that pack at all. You know, you just bend over when it's heavy, but that's every pack.
Mm-hmm.
I threw this pack on, and it was a revelation. Like this is, I believe, the Initial Ascent kind of pack style where they're light. Like the pack itself is pretty light. It's not super light like Stone Glacier light, but the way it carries weight makes it 100% worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
Functionality over weight savings, I would say.
Yes, and it's not even like you look at the pack, like you go to your local Shields or wherever it is you want to go look at the Western Hunt Expo or Mile High, wherever they are. TAC event. I don't know whether it be.
They were at TAC last year.
Yeah.
That's where I first got them on my radar. I didn't try the pack, but my buddy did. And he was like, dude, you need to try it. I'm like, no, I like my Stone Glacier. It works for me fine.
Yeah.
Try out Western Hunt.
Yeah. I mean, wherever you, like, look at the pack, right? It is a bare bones pack from a frame standpoint. So, like, you look at the Crux or the X Curve, whatever it is with some. it's sewn into the bag. That like it's finished very nicely. You look at the the initial ascent is essentially a piece of like CNC'd out carbon fiber alloy or composite is the right word. Um, with the straps that are connected to it, the lumbar support that's connected to it. But man, it is one incredibly comfortable.
The ventilation from the
Yeah.
not having it sewn together too is something I really
Yeah.
like that little gap in your back.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
The fact that the lumbar pillow has enough like plushness in it, and you can move it up and down on the pack is fantastic. Um, and it fits well. I'm like, I'm a bigger dude. I don't think that's a secret to anyone watching the YouTube version of this, but it fits me really fucking well.
And on the flip side of that, I'm like a athletic built dude. Like I have broader shoulders, smaller waist.
Yeah.
Fits me great.
Yeah.
So it fits the kind of spectrum of where like someone like you might have like a little bit wider hip base than me. It still fits.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's well thought out. And they did things with this pack. I don't know if they did them intentionally or not, but on each of the shoulders, like in the frame, there's little notches.
Oh, dude, I was literally about to talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
You
those
throw-
things are brilliant. They were initially, I watched a video on it. They were initially assigned for your rifle sling.
That's what I use them for. And God, it's
Dude,
awesome.
the weight carrying.
Yeah.
I tested it at Western Hunt because that's what they do.
Yeah, that's why they're hanging stuff.
Yeah. That's like you can pack out like a full bear.
Yeah.
In one trip with that.
You can hang your bags off the side of it.
It makes weight that was previously not manageable manageable, which is huge if you want to get into like backcountry backpack.
Yeah.
So coming from a newer standpoint, like I haven't had a lot of experience with a lot of other bags. I've only had experience with Stone Glacier, I've had experience with Mystery Ranch, and I've had experience with the Initial Ascent. If you're looking to invest as a new hunter in something that will last you forever, it is a premium piece of gear, so it is going to be pricey. But the Initial Ascent pack is something I recommend
100%.
10 out of 10 times.
100%.
If it works with your budget as a newer hunter, starting out with that comfort will let you get farther back and more experiences in the red zone.
Yeah. And I will say, so it's not as expensive as like I think it's the Arc from Cafaro. I think the Arc's $100 or $200 more. It's in line with a Stone Glacier the same size. Mystery Ranch is going to be a couple $100 less. But man, if you can drop $750, whatever that is, on
600, 700 on Go Hunt.
700 on Go. There you go.
And you get your points. Yeah.
No, but realistically, the only thing I will say is you don't get the pain you're on Go Hunt.
I mean,
you can order it separately.
You can on the actual site. You can order it built in.
Oh, really? Yeah, on the IA site though, right?
I don't think I ordered mine off Go Hunt. I just order it secondly, separately. And to be honest, it's such an easy install.
That's another really great thing.
Simplicity. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So like with the Stone Glacier, there is. I love the Stone Glacier packs, but there's a million different little straps and every different little bit of webbing. And if you don't know exactly how to use it, you would be fucked trying to use that meat shelf.
Yep.
This is 4 buckles.
4 buckles.
4 buckles.
The whole and the entire pack pops off.
4 buckles pops off, and then on the actual meat shelf side, the pannier itself can buckle into that side, so you can use that as a day pack, or you can just put the meat in the pannier. The top buckles buckle, and then you can just use your backpack to strap down your meat.
Yep.
4 buckles, you could use it day one as a meat shelf. You don't have to go watch a million YouTube videos on how to use it, because that's something that I had a big problem with Stone Glacier.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And Mystery Ranch. It's literally just 4 buckles, put it in the pannier, tighten down, and you're good.
Yep.
And what I really like about the pannier too is this kind of leads into the next thing we're going to talk about is that front pocket. It's perfect. It's
1,000%. 1,000%. And yeah, it's such a good system. It was well thought out. It was very clearly designed by hunters
for hunters.
that want to do that want to do quick shit, that want to do shit quickly.
Yeah,
Like that is the ultimate.
they're out of Idaho, right?
Yeah, Caldwell.
Caldwell.
Yep, and they do awesome stuff. And
Oh, I think it is the best pack on the market, in my
I
opinion.
agree. 100%.
I don't have the repertoire of like how the Kafaro feels. I don't have the repertoire of how the new Mystery Ranch feels. I don't know what I know what the Stone Glacier feels like because they haven't changed in 10 years.
Yep.
But I don't know what the Crux feels like. But I can say from what I've heard, what I've experienced with the limited amount of experience I have, I think that thing is the best thing in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Because when I dove into backcountry hunting, I dove full in, like multi-day hunts immediately, and it wasn't even the highest quality gear at the time, so it was really heavy. So I was already like, the first ever bull elk I killed, so a spike, and packing that thing out was intense. Like I wasn't even that far from the track. I was like 3-4 miles, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
Which could have been, it's definitely me, but the way it carried weight, it just put so much pressure on my shoulders that it just felt like I was carrying around like 120-pound rug down up this hill to my truck. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
And like, I've been fortunate enough where I've harvested other elk now where I was closer to the truck. This has expanded my mindset. Like, I'm not thinking 5 miles from the truck max. I'm thinking 10 to 20.
Yeah.
Which I know it sounds like a lot, but like I've been doing a lot of other things physically to prepare for that kind of mileage. Like I'm running an ultra marathon.
Yep.
So it's not all the pack for sure where my mindset has changed, but knowing that I could get realistically probably like loose meat and 2/4 out at a time with a bull if I really needed to in grizzly country without a ton of problems.
It turns 3 or 4 trips into 2 trips.
100%.
Yeah.
Like without a doubt. Like I could do back straps, tenderloins, heart, and like loose neck meat, and then 2 like deboned quarters on my sides. Get that like a mile away towards camp for an elk, and then go back, do the same thing, and then with the head, and then I'm not worried like, okay, this is gonna like obviously it's gonna take a long time, but I'm not thinking about like
less time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not thinking about like, oh, I'm gonna be at trip number 3 and a grizzly bear is gonna be claiming it. I'm gonna be at trip number 2, taking the head out and moving, leaving that gut pile, leaving that carcass, and then now I have a little bit more peace of mind when I'm back there. Because I'm not unfortunately, I'd say ultimately, the places I like to hunt, the places I enjoy hunting, are also grizzly bears like to me. So that's something that's always on my mind. There's parts of Montana where there's no grizzlies. I just don't like to hunt them. I like to go where not a lot of people are, which means that there's a lot of grizzlies.
Yeah, 100%.
So the Initial Ascent, I think, is worth the investment.
I agree.
The spotter pocket too is great.
Yeah. I mean, I think we said it already, but it is a very clear
Pocket
backpack. Well, yeah, it's a backpack that was designed for a purpose.
Yes, everything has an intentional purpose. Yeah. The one beef I have with that pack is that you have to get those secondary buckles if you want to strap something like a tripod on the side. But which I mean is a little annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah. If I'm able to carry out that meat, whatever.
I also like that little I don't know what it is, the little secret pocket on the underside of the lid.
Oh, what do you mean you shouldn't say that?
The secret pocket.
Secret pocket.
Secret. You gotta buy one to find out.
Yeah, that's a cool little thing. It doesn't work unfortunately with the hydration system we're running, but it is cool. A cool little spot to keep like physical tags. I knew nice thing is that Montana
Yep.
But like my California tags, all are gonna be physical. I need to buy those now. California blacktail hunt. I mean, that's gonna be the Hunt Swiftly debut. No, I think we'll probably go to bear hunt.
Yeah. I mean, we don't kill one in the next like week and a half.
If I don't kill one this trip, May 11th through the 19th, I have completely open for bear hunting.
All right.
So bear hunt might be coming, some content there.
Yeah.
But besides that, the first deer and elk hunt is gonna be Blacktail in California,
Hell yeah.
which is a fucking hard hunt.
Yeah, but we're also at the beach.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. We're gonna be in China.
It's the largest coastline of any state in the union.
Oh, I know. I grew up on that coastline.
Yeah.
I grew up literally on that coastline, so I know.
California.
Santa Cruz, California, represent. Hey, at least I'm not too Californian. I admit
You hunt.
I hunt.
Yeah.
I don't try to change Montana. I abstain from voting in Montana until I've lived here 10 years. Unless it's like a bill that actually makes sense to me.
Fair.
Like if like a Colorado mountain lion bill came around, I'd vote for that. But vote like no. But besides that, I don't feel like I have been here long enough where I should have a political say until I'm like a functioning member of
No,
society
you need to vote.
into the economy.
There's some shit going on right now.
What do you recommend? Vote?
There's I can what bills they are, but there's a couple going through right now that are about like land reclamation and stuff like that.
Well, that kind of stuff, yeah, 100%. But I'm saying like overall political landscape, I probably would vote with majority Montanans. I would say politically,
We accept you.
but I really just don't want to influence a place that I am not a full part of their economy because I'm a student.
Fair enough.
And I think that's the problem.
Okay.
That's why we have two blueberries, really.
Yeah.
In Bozeman, Missoula, because the college kids will get really politically active.
Yeah, that's.
And I think that my personal opinion on that is I grew up in a place where my town low-key got ruined by the college. Like UC Santa Cruz ruined the internal parts of that town. Like the homelessness problems, the like drug problems, a lot of that came from like student votings from activism. So like I just grew up with the consequences of that.
Fair enough.
And so I choose to abstain unless it's something that involves public lands, hunting, because those are issues I feel like I would align myself with most Montana with.
Oh, fair enough.
But just I don't want to be a part of the issue until I have a stake in it, if that makes sense.
Okay. That's reasonable.
I think that's the mindset. I'm honestly a big fan of like if you're going to college out of state, you don't vote.
I agree. I agree.
I think it's your constitutional right. I think you should vote on like federally.
Back home.
Yeah. But in like a state like Montana, where it's been this way and people love it for what it is, I think people coming from California, coming from Minnesota, coming from Oregon, Washington, and trying to change it into what they left is a disgrace.
I would agree completely.
So as a Californian, I apologize for other Californians. We're also terrible drivers. Dude, my first year or two driving here, I was an issue. Because I'm going to be completely honest. I was an issue. Now I figured it out. Now I know how to drive in the snow. But there was a while where I just like refused to drive because I was like, I don't want to be that asshole with the California plates. Dude, the first ever day I lived here was a snowstorm. And this is a little TMI. I had a little date going on the night before and I had to drive her home. Nice. And she's from like middle of nowhere, Montana.
Hell yeah.
And I'm driving like a fucking Californian. And it gave her the ick so bad she never talked to me again.
Nice.
So
good for her.
Good for her. Now I see the reason why, but I was like, dang, dude.
Yeah.
So there's I accept my faults as a Californian.
I mean,
I will say I love California.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I think if that state wasn't politically communist, like it would have been long
history.
Yeah. But I think if that state wasn't so bright blue, it's insane. I would easily live there again. It was an amazing way to grow up.
It's beautiful.
California, I would say, as a high school experience, was the shit. Because I literally lived like a movie high school experience. Like house parties, you name it, football. You go to the cheerleaders. You talk. You try to. You get
I
drunk with
think
your
that doesn't
friends.
happen anywhere else.
No. No, I'm just saying. But in a California setting where you're cutting class to go to the beach and surf,
Fair enough.
like senior ditch day,
It's
our
very
senior ditch.
Johnny Tsunami.
Yeah, our senior ditch day, we brought a dye table down to a beach, built sand benches, and had a dye tournament on the beach with the entire senior class next to the ocean on an 85-degree day in May.
All right, fair enough.
So that's where I think like the California like movie experience is a real thing.
Yeah, I got to go to senior night at Disneyland.
Exactly. But I'm not saying that doesn't happen anywhere. I'm just saying like
Fair. No, I got you.
Like,
I'm just kidding.
yeah. I mean, growing up, I surfed a lot. I was like bright blonde hair, tan, surf kid.
I can see it.
Dude, I was like bright white blonde. Like I had a tan line on my neck where I was like dark, bright white blonde hair, baby face with my green eyes, and then I'd be pure white and with a wetsuit tan line. And I'd go surf with my buddies 12 hours a day. Like we would hit this place called Stephen Lane Supply next to the surf spot. And they would serve these fucking dog food bowls, but they were like eggs and bacon,
Nice.
and they're like day old stuff, but they're like 50 cents. So all the Groms and I would get these like 50-cent dog food bowls, eat those, and go out back surfing. Because and they had a credit system, so it's like you add money to an account. So if you wanted to go surf, not bring the wallet. So we would like get like 2 of those egg things, ask them to microwave it, and pour hot sauce, and a yerba mate.
Jesus Christ.
So that's like what I grew up doing.
That's wild. That's fucking.
I was like wrong. I like traveled for surfing. I was like my sport forever, and then I started.
And now it's hunting.
I was hunting, but I used to do like competitive surfing.
Nice.
But that's what ruined surfing. 100%. I should have never done it. Like I was a good surfer, but just the contest, like the way it was growing up, it was very much a favoritism. What companies sponsored you won contest.
Fair.
So it was all about promoting this brand's next surfer, this next Grom. And I had some local companies sponsoring me, but I never had like international companies sponsoring me. Rip Curl, O'Neill.
Yeah.
But that's my little surfing history. But I was all in. I was like traveling to like Fiji and shit.
Nice.
Travel Fiji, travel to Hawaii, down south, up north, like everywhere. Oh. So I've always been an all-in kind of guy.
Yeah, I can tell by the way you hunt.
Yeah,
it's very clear, just full send.
Dude, yeah. And the way I hunt is I schedule my school around. Like I have to do an extra year of college because of it.
Hey.
So I do 4 classes Tuesday, Thursday in the fall, so I can hunt Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Nice. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Dude, it's my life. It's 100% my life. I just can't get competitive with people, so I don't get competitive with people.
Fair. It shouldn't be competitive.
It shouldn't be, but it gets so competitive. Oh, this person killed this bull. This person killed this bull.
That's why there's no gripping grins on my Instagram.
I have a gripping grin.
But I've seen it.
Oh, that's just because it was my first real branch.
Fair.
And my first like over 40 kilo.
Yeah.
But I think the last post I really want to post is if I kill a bear, because I want to do like an entire story on like this is why you hunt bears, and because I have an audience. Like I don't have an audience, but the people who follow me are like my friends from back home that don't know hunting.
Nice.
So if by posting that I can increase understanding, then I want to do it.
Totally.
Because I've had this conversation with like the most liberal of people, like the like PETA people, and explaining it to them, and I feel like that conversation was actually very helpful.
Yeah.
To their understanding.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely if you can get through to someone and just like be able to have a civil conversation with somebody about hunting in general, it's never a bad thing.
The best way to get through to someone is good food.
Yeah, I agree.
I served a bunch of people like some backstrap from my elk. All of them loved it, and it kind of opened the doorway. Like, oh, how'd you harvest this? What is it like harvesting? Did you bring meat to the processor? Did you process it yourself? Do you have a butcher deal with it? How do you get it off the mountain? It opens up a path.
Yeah, totally.
But anyway, circling to our next item, this is the one that I'm going to say we're going to be a little biased on.
A little bit.
This is something that a disclaimer, purely because we had a conversation with these folks over there and they're great people.
Yep.
We do believe it is a great product.
Okay, so let me go into full legal disclaimer. We have a very brief relationship with the people that own the company.
Very good.
That being said, we bought these before we even talked to them.
This is non-sponsored. Okay.
I was influenced by Quentin to buy this. It is fucking incredible. Grab mine.
Yeah, I'll stand up and grab it.
Yeah. But it is genuinely a. It is a. I'll say it. It is a game-changing product for what it is, and it kind of makes me mad because I don't know why no one has created the drifter hydration system before. So essentially, what this is, that's funny. It's on both cameras.
Oh, great.
Essentially, what this is a 2.5 liter reservoir.
Is it 2.5? Oh, that was 2.
Is it 2?
Yeah, I think it's 2. But it is a solid, like it's a stiff reservoir. What's the word? Yeah, rigid. That's the word.
It is a rigid reservoir. And the cool thing about it is it's pressurized. So you can see there's two
hoses.
Two tubes coming off the top of it. One, of course, is your drinks valve. The other one is the little pressure bowl. And what that allows you to do is, one, it means when you're absolutely fucking gassed, packing out,
that thing and
pull out, you can it squirts.
It squirts.
Yeah, it just squirts.
I had to control myself from saying some out of pocket stuff right there.
Yeah, trust me.
Should I just rip it out anyway?
Yeah, let it go.
Squirts harder than a stripper on the fire hose.
But it's like everything comes apart, which I really like. So you can clean pieces individually.
My favorite feature of it personally is the entire concept of it with the pressure. Also, it has to do with the filtering aspect. So you never have to let this out of your pack.
Yep.
You run it through your hose with the filter they provide that clicks in.
Yep.
And you can filter water with it staying in your pack. So essentially, all you have to do is carry a water filter in there and like a dirty bag. And by doing so, it might seem heavier at first, but I actually decrease the amount of weight on my back because I'm not carrying 4 different water filters. And then if you're really worried like I am about water, is you can do the Aquamira tablets in the dirty bag before you do it. And then you can double filter it. All the while, this right here, the way they set it up is that they run it in the pannier of the Initial Ascent, which is how we're going to be doing it. And with that setup in the pannier, it never leaves. And it also makes it so even in like cold weather, like this system, all you have to do is there's a bleed valve right here on the actual pressure. You just undo this and hold your hose up and your water doesn't freeze in your hose. Yeah. Which is brilliant because it doesn't ruin the plastic. I've had literal water bladders break the hose because of frozen water.
Well, and then the other nice thing is like just from a practical standpoint, the cool thing with this is that when you're packing something out, whether it be an elk, a deer, a bear, a moose, whatever, it's not going to get crushed.
Yeah,
nothing is crushing this.
It won't pop in your pack.
And so, one, you're always going to have water available when you want it. And two, you can't pop it.
No,
I'm not popping this.
I will 100% say the only issue I have is it's a little bulky. So what I do personally for when I'm packing my pack, I pack everything in the pack without it, and then I set that in afterwards. And then once I have that set in, I just strap the pack back on, and it's completely fine. So that's the only difficulty I found with it, where I just it's a little bulky, like it'll push up the stuff in your pack. But if you set up your pack correctly, you just pack it first and then you put that in, and it's doesn't leave your bag. It holds water. It works incredibly well. Like the pressure system works. Another really nice thing about it that I like is bottle fill. So you can pressurize it, and they have the drifter bottles, which these are little 14-ounce little like water bottles that fit in a bear spray holster.
Yep.
So you don't need a bulky water bottle. You can literally just have that, and you can use that for your electrolytes, your energy. I'm personally going to be running a Nalgene just for a little extra water on me. But if I'm like, I'm only gonna run it for this hunt. But honestly, I might run that little water thing because I like to keep my water, my actual water, and my electrolytes and all that separate.
100%.
So having that like smaller kind of bottle makes it a little bit less impactful on your water carrying by having. I saw this product initially when they did a thing with Initial Ascent to show how well it functions. I also walked by their booth a few times at the Western High Expo. I didn't really go in there, unfortunately, which I should have. But that was because I had spent so much money already that I just needed to get out of there.
And you still bought it.
Still bought it. It is $150, and I do not see a way that I would regret spending that money. Ultimately, I think that benefit of the pressure, that benefit of like the hose, the inline water system, the back filtration is incredible. And they have a video on how to set it up, and it is incredibly easy to set up.
Yeah, you pop the mouthpiece off, pop the filter, and you elevate it, squeeze, give a little bit of pressure to the bag, and then it just fills it. This never leaves your pack.
Never.
For any reason. It's
amazing. I love the idea. They're really good people. We talk to them, and we preference our emails to them saying, we're not asking for free stuff.
Yeah.
We just want to work with you because we both own the system and we both really like the system.
Yeah.
And that's something where it's like, no matter what you spend on your pack, no matter what you spend on your gear, water is going to be one of the most important things you actually work with.
Yeah.
So by having a system that works incredibly well, and honestly, I lost weight. I lost ounces on my pack because of it. So
the entire system, filter, all the extra hoses that like help the filter, the extra bag, all that is like a pound.
It's not
a full like 1 pound for like
which if you run like, not to blast them because I've used hard side hydration, but if you're bringing 2 Nalgenes, the hard side hydration stuff, and a water filter, a dirty bag, and all that, you're at that weight anyway.
Yep.
So I think personally, Drifter is the future.
Yeah, I mean for the
Windows update.
Yeah, Windows update. For the money, there's nothing better on the market. This isn't gonna
$150.
Yeah, it's not gonna pop on you.
I feel like ultimately most of that money comes down. You're gonna spend the same amount of money on like a filter, like a Sawyer filter.
Yep. Exactly.
So if you get like an actual like Sawyer filter, you're spending $150. You get the entire system for $150.
Yeah.
And it's quality. It is. There's no part of it that I think is lacking.
No. Oh yeah, I would totally agree.
Yeah, and if you have a pack with a hydro sleeve, that's even better.
Yep. Yeah, it fits perfectly in your pack. It doesn't pop. Holy shit! If you have ever popped a water bladder, it is the worst day you'll ever have on about.
Everything's wet and cold, and your back feels like you just the worst.
Yeah, I mean it's an awesome product, and I don't know if anyone else has done it. I've never had one that has it, but the tube has a magnet on it.
It's great.
Like they send you the receptacle
and it pops onto the initial side.
Nothing. I don't know if anyone else does that. I don't know why they wouldn't, but it's in my opinion that's like the smallest quality of life feature that you could possibly have, but it makes all the difference.
Yeah. So I would say honestly a huge shout out.
No,
shout out to the Drifter.
Really, go check out Drifter Hydration on Instagram. Check out their website. It is genuinely an awesome product, and we're not trying to sell it to you. We get nothing from you going and buying stuff. It's just a fucking cool product.
Yeah,
So
it's a really cool product, a great idea, an awesome application, and an actual backcountry hunting kind of sense. And
yeah.
not even a backcountry hunting kind of sense. I feel like I would. I was talking to him about how birds
Hmm.
would be great, like a field vest, like for your dog water,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that too is a
Have a
huge.
little collapsible bowl, and it's pressurized.
So you can literally just s- spray it there.
Yep.
So yeah, that's another big item that's on the docket for ultimate testing this
Yeah.
coming weekend. Another thing, uh, stock tripods.
Okay.
I personally am running the Slick 580 EZ.
Hmm. I am not.
Yeah, no, I'm not running a super nice spotter. So I just got a hundred. I working at Sportsman's. I got a discount, $120. It's heavy, but it works. Running that with the Loophole SX2 Alpine. Ultimately, I want a tracer. That's the reality. I want a tracer if I get a nicer spotter, which after going to Austria, I really want a Swirl.
Mine's just getting a swirl.
Dude, that factory is incredible. It's like an art museum and like you go and it's like an art museum. And every single thing of like the view of the Swiss Alps or the Austrian Alps is with a BTX.
Yeah.
So like the like you know like how you go to like a ferry like a wharf or something
That
like that.
little things.
Like yeah, it's all BTXs.
Nice.
It was insane. And like everything's made of crystal.
Yep. Of course.
Yeah. But Swaro is the dream. Expensive, but the dream.
Yeah.
I'm running the SX2, decent quality. It was on sale. I think the only time I'll really use it is Spring Bear and at the range. But if I got a Swaro, I'm bringing that.
Full Hubble telescope with Brady Miller.
I'm thinking like the ATX with the 65.
Nice. Okay.
So
Not bad.
I like the angles. I'm not a huge straight spotting scope kind of guy.
No,
I feel like a pirate.
I'm right there with you. It definitely feels like
Like, ahoy!
spyglass or whatever.
You're like Captain Jack Sparrow. But yeah, so I'm running that slick.
Yep.
It's decent quality. I mean, it's nothing special. It's not a lot to say on it personally. You, however,
I have a Tricer. I spent the money. Um, it's the AD, the bigger one.
I like the BC a lot,
Yeah.
but the 80 makes more sense.
I wanted the taller tripod so I could stand and look behind it.
That makes sense.
I have a head from Revic on it. I don't have one of the Tricer heads. And that was purely a financial decision. The Revic head I think was $100, and the Tricer was like 200 or 300. Works fantastically. It is an absolutely bomber head. Um, and the tripods. I mean, there isn't a lot to say. It's a tripod. It was light as shit, and it is super stable. I like the fact that the center post you can change it out for a short one.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a great tripod. I absolutely love it.
What are you running? Are you running a spotter?
Yep. I am running the Vortex Razor UHD 65. I think it's a 2060.
Money.
That's free.
That's the sportsman's deal.
It was a gift actually. It
Oh,
was a Christmas present. Yeah.
that's a nice Christmas present.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That kind of covers tripods.
Yeah.
I think we're about 45 minutes in. It's time to get into the neediest and grittiest.
Oh.
Weaponry.
Yeah, my favorite. My favorite
So,
weapon.
what I'm thinking we'll do with this is that you have a lot to say on your rifle. I have a lot to say on my bow.
Okay.
So what I'll do kind of shortly is I'll describe my rifle, what I'm using for bear.
Okay.
I'll let you kind of go into depth, and then we'll do kind of the inverse for archery.
Okay.
Yeah. So broad strokes, I'm running the Weatherby Alpine CT, the 307 action in a 7 PRC. I'm running 175 ELDXs out of it. I'm using the
Factory loads?
Yeah, factory loads. I don't know how to reload.
Yeah.
I'm using the MDT bipod, like the base $200 one, and I'm using the Vortex Pro rings medium and a Vortex Razor LHT 4.5 to 22 by 50.
Nice.
So that's kind of like my overall setup. Nothing really special, mostly factory. No suppressors, no nothing. I'm running in the 7PRC. That's my one rifle. That's my only rifle. I use it to kill my bull this year.
Excellent choice.
Yep, I'm using it to killed my bull this year with it. Gonna use it on my bear hunts. It's super lightweight, works very well. No real complaints except I want to run that tricer bipod when it comes out. But yeah, so that's kind of like my quick overview. I don't have a lot to say in depth wise on it. Besides, it's a great rifle.
You covered the bases. I mean, what is it? It's a BSF barrel.
Yeah, it's a BSF barrel.
They make specifically for weatherby.
Yeah.
And
I will preference I got that on discount through Sportsman's, so it's $2,500 rifle setup.
Yep.
But so that was like my last hurrah of working at Sportsman. So it's like I want to get a really nice rifle that I'll use forever and that works with my style hunting.
Yeah, it's a great gun. I like it a lot. I have two of them.
Yep.
I have one in 280 Acme, which is my elk rifle, and then I have one in 7PRC that I kind of just have.
Yeah. So you want to get nitty gritty on yours?
Yeah, I mean I won't dive too crazy into it. But we'll see. So for bear, I am running a Christensen Mesa FFT, which is the new stock bottom metal combo. It's a 20-inch barrel. It has a Vortex Viper on it with the sunshade on a set of 20 MOA rings. Has a trigger tech trigger in it that I put in it. It's on the MDT Oryx bipod. Nothing special. It's $100. I do run it with a suppressor. I run Rexel DM 30 cal on it. What else can I say about it? It's pretty basic. I only shoot it leading up to bear season.
What's the caliber?
It's 300 PRC.
Okay.
220 ELDXs. I'm using H1000 powder. So it's like. Actually, I'm not going to say the load just for safety purposes. I don't want someone to like go copy board memories, but I do run the bullets long, so I don't actually use the magazine. That's it. Really, it's a pretty bare bone. I say it's a bare bones against like that setup's like a $3,000 setup with everything, but it is a pretty bare bones setup. And like I said, it only comes out for bear hunting. And if I'm not feeling that, I run a 28 Nosler Model 21 Nosler. Nosler Model 21 that is 100% stock. Nothing done to it at all. Yeah, Vortex Precision Rings, the serialized ones from Vortex that are, in my opinion, they are the best rings on the market. They're serialized, so they're guaranteed to be match set. I've never had an issue with those ever. I genuinely think they're worth $160 that you pay for them. Did I say I got that for free? Full disclosure, the rifle was free.
Yes, you said.
Yeah. I don't want anyone to convince any ideas there. Most of the other guns that I have, I paid full price for. But yeah, I love that gun. It shoots lights out, and it kicks like a fucking mule. That's pretty much all
I'm
there is.
surprised on my 7PRC doesn't kick at all.
No.
Really, I have that fat brake that they give you with it though,
Mm-hmm.
so definitely why it probably doesn't kick as bad.
Yeah, I mean it's 7PRC is it doesn't need to kick a lot,
no.
But it's really flat shooting it.
Yeah. Are you using anything as a backrest? Like I'm using the Stealthy Hunter pad as my backrest this year. Nothing. Just shoulder in it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm man.
I've been practicing a lot with the pad, so that's why I want to shoot with the pad. Plus, I love that.
Fucks with your like ball, man.
I am such a bad rifle shooter that I probably wouldn't tell the difference. I just have my dope chart on my side. I dial my knob and work with the wind.
That doesn't have a dope chart. I've never actually developed a physical dope
I
chart.
spent all winter developing a dope chart because I lost a 370-inch pole on opening day because of a bad shot.
God damn.
Yeah, I think it could have been like loser's dilemma, like you make it bigger, but I was with someone who was watching and like it just
Mm.
it was at 600. It was in this clearing. We had no other opportunities to get to him. And essentially, I took the shot at exactly 600 on an upward slope and just went right over him. And he just ran away. And essentially, what ended up happening is I realized that I relied on my SIG rangefinder too much.
Mm.
So I just decided to physically develop a dope chart. And I'm way more confident with that now.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I have it taped on the side of my rifle, I have it written in my ammo wallet. It's ready to go. I know exactly what it's doing up to 600 yards.
Yeah.
And I also know now what to adjust for when shooting at an uphill, which is like half an MOA, half a full MOA down based off that yardage. But like I compared the number I got with my SIG, which was like 21 MOA, something like that, 600 yards, to like the one I have now, which is about like 18.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that much of a difference I found. Like if you just do like your own physical development.
When you set it up with the SIG, did you do it like full ballistics?
Or no, I did factory ballistics, so that's another reason why I went wrong. But now that I have the Garmin Zero, so now I have actual ballistics, so it's a lot closer, but it's still not perfect because I could follow the SIG and it'll shoot like 5 inches high, and then I'll go and I basically use that as a reference point after I got my ballistics, and then develop my physical, so it's like 18.5 instead of 20. Something like that. Something like like realistically, it's gonna be within that like 1 to 1.5 MOA. So I just run the physical. Plus, it's way easier in my opinion than to like range. Oh, I forgot to get the MOA range again. I can range, get the yardage, look at the side of my rifle, dial, and shoot.
Yeah.
And I've tested it, so I know what it's doing, and I know what exactly where it's gonna hit.
Yeah, 100%.
So
that's the only way to do it, man.
And then archery. Like we can go first on this. Which bow are you gonna talk about?
Yeah, so bow, plural. Even though Quentin's deeper into the archery hole than I'm the one with two bows. So I have a Matthews Phase 4 33-inch, 70 pounds with purple string, Spot Hog XL, and then Matthews low pro quiver, and I'm shooting BAP TKO 300 elites out of that at 28 inches with X veins, tri-fletched X veins, um, two 2.5 inch ones. Sorry about that. I knocked over the wall. And then I just ordered a new bow, which is
Do you know your FPS on Facebook?
Yeah, it's fairly slow, like 75.
Are you shooting? What's it graded for weight for the arrow?
No, 520.
520. So you're shooting 73 pounds.
Yeah.
73 pounds, 520 grain arrow, roughly 207 feet a second. Are you shooting gas octanes or did you get the ghosts?
They're
Or the
3 years old, right?
the American
whatever. Yeah,
zebras?
whatever.
Probably.
No. They're gas strings. I just don't know. Whatever the highest level was 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think that's the I think it's the high octanes.
Then probably,
Yeah, because they came out the Ghost 2 years ago, and then now they have System X.
Yeah. What else? No specialty like standard 25-cent archery shop peep site. What else on that? Can I talk about?
What's your rest?
Rest is an integrate QA.
MX1 or MX2?
MX1.
Yeah.
MX2 with this, man.
Yeah. Where are you shooting bar wise? Length?
12 on the front, 0 on the back.
No back bar.
Nope.
This guy.
Not on this bow.
What's bow number 2?
Bow number 2 is a brand new, not yet delivered point RX9. The new point for this year. Reason I bought a new bow while I still have a new bow, essentially, it's 2 years old, 3 years old, is that I didn't like carrying a 33-inch axle through the woods.
Which, if you have the financial freedom to do, I do not blame you.
Yeah, it was a tough decision. I really didn't go into an archery drought expecting to drop that much on a bow, but here we are.
Yeah.
Full custom from Hoyt, so it's gonna have pink string. It's the wild land, I think is what they call it.
Yeah.
The OD green riser, black campaigns land, the same with pink string. Arrows still gonna be that TKO elites. I will never go into anything else. The 55 grain,
Half off.
half out, the Easton match half out, tri-fletch AAE Pro Maxes for little guys.
How much helical?
It's much helical as that fish will take.
So that's 6 piece.
Yeah, it's full helical. Pink Halonox. And running Severs 2.0 TIs this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's kind of set in stone for you.
Yep, that's what I'm running. And then I'm carrying one Annihilator from it.
Okay.
1.5 pins.
Okay.
Because I dropped so much off the insert. I went from the negative to the
that makes sense.
Kept it all 1.5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully gonna kill some shit this year.
Yeah. I got South Dakota, I got potentially Nevada, potentially Utah,
California,
Montana.
Yeah, I think I'm only hunting California and Montana this year. Maybe South Dakota.
You should apply.
I should.
You got less than a week.
Frick.
Yeah. $16, man.
$16 only
to apply.
What's the tag?
$375.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing that when I get home.
License is like $25.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And it's a whole state.
Yeah.
The only tip I will give you is there are 2 tags that you can get. One is 100% private land. The other is private property.
Okay.
So make sure.
I'll get in contact with you before you go. All right. So that's kind of the archery setup.
Yeah.
That you're gonna do right now.
It's gonna run pretty much the RS90 exclusively though.
Yeah, that makes sense. Shorter axle is really nice. It's gonna be cooking compared to your old bar.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm doing maybe 280s.
300.
You're gonna have to have a.
It's also an 80-pound bow.
Yeah, it's 80 pounds.
It's an 80
You'll
pound.
probably be in that 300 range.
Yeah.
There we go. Good man.
Assuming I'm man enough to draw 80 pounds.
If I can do it, I can do it.
Yeah. I'm not that worried about it. No. I think it's just gonna make sure my form is 100% on point.
I want to talk to you about that. It's a little sky dry.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to do the fucking crispy, how you're actually supposed to shoot.
I know
which is
I love crispies
up here and then pull back and then settle, and I'm like that's hard as fuck.
I love crispies content, but I pull my bow back.
Like a man.
Yeah, I lean over a little bit, draw. Not like that far. It's like this far, and I'm sitting. What's your release you're running this year?
Spot Hog Wise Guy.
You doing the solid one, or are you doing the rope?
It's the bar.
The bar, and then you're doing boa.
Yep, and boa.
And boa. Pretty solid setup.
Only thing I don't like about boa is it's hard to get the same tension every single time.
I found an anchor spot for my boa, or not boa, anchor spot for my fingernail. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Same tension.
Yeah.
Why don't you just mark it on your boa how much you turn?
I could do that.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Well, tip 3 if you're running boa.
There you go. What's on my shoes?
Yeah, perfect.
Sweet. All right, let's hear about Frankie though.
All right. Well, first I'm gonna start arrows. So I'm a big archery nerd. I love working on my own bow. My buddy has a shop kind of set up. I'm gonna invest in a shop. So the arrows I'm running, knockdown. I'm running the Easton X knock. And then I'm running a Rip TKO. The elites, the 0.001 straightness. And then I'm running a 4-inch Boeing wrap with 4 fletch AAE hybrid 26, all yellow. Oh, the dog's trying to attack my dick. Sorry.
Bodie, come here.
And then I'm up front. I'm running a 25 grain aluminum Easton half out,
Nice.
and then a 100-point tip. So that's kind of like my overall arrow setup, and it's cut to 27 and a half, carbon to carbon. So I'm shooting 29-inch drawing, which is weird because you're a 29-inch drawing. Yeah, weird how archery works about that. But so my arrow weight's about 421.2, and I'm going to be running broadhead wise this year. I'm going to be running the T2 from G5, those things the shit, and then I might run a Beast.
Okay.
Even though I have a lighter arrow, I think mechanicals are the way to go, just because of my speed, which I'll get into.
Big mechanical.
Yeah. Riser is a Ventum riser in Origin, and then that's the 2023. My limbs are black VTM limbs from 2024. Or the last one was 2022, 2023 limbs, because I'm running 80-pound limbs. They're at 75. And then I'm running the Z1S S-type cam. No, my riser is a Z1S riser. Yeah. I don't know why I said Ventum. It's a Z1S riser, VTM limbs with an S-type HBX cam, which is at 75 pounds, and I'm running the gas high octane strings in yellow. Essentially, I had to like crank those down to like make it work because the axle was like 33 and an eighth, and I cranked it down to get to 33 exactly. I'm running a 29-inch draw length, and I'm running the MX2 integrate rest. I love the micro adjust on that thing. Sights, I'm running the Excel Landslide Picatinny 3-pin. Just that thing's a bad sight. I got that from my buddy from Facebook. So good. Get about 165 yards worth of clearance with my arrows on it. And I'm running just a basic peep, nothing special there. I haven't really dove into the peeps. I know about clarifiers and all that, and magnifiers. I just don't need it. Yeah. I'm running the aim for a pass through mule 10-inch stabilizer up front in Origin camo. I'm running a 8-inch back bar Origin camo with the original 8 ounces weight. So that's kind of like my overall setup. It's getting about 312 feet a second.
Damn.
So it's cooking with that 420 grain. Yeah, 420 grain arrow. I'm running the Spot Hog Blast guy, but I'm running the belt, not the boa. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's been my setup for a while. I have delved deep into the archery world and like tuning it, learning about it. It's been by far probably my favorite aspect of learning how to hunt is the archery world. Just great culture, great environment, fun to do. Really just a great time overall. But yeah, so that's kind of like my archery setup and a quick little rundown. So I can get into like what size my D loop is or my peep height, but that's going to start going over the heads of a lot of people.
True.
Yeah. So, but yeah, 312 feet a second, 75 pounds. Yeah, it's fast as fuck, boy.
Fast.
Dude, I shot my arrow through the 29 AX2 80 pounder. Mm-hmm. It's like 323.
God damn.
That thing is cooking. So,
AX2.
Yeah. 80 pounds. I should. But I should. I don't want to.
Look at you.
No, they won't. Yeah. Hey, cool.
Big Sky Archery, shout out, man.
Yeah. Those guys are they're good guys. But yeah, so essentially, that's like the broad strokes of my archery equipment. Gonna be running that this year, and then next year I'm gonna be moving on to a different bow. I just have made a commit. I've run it for the past year. I ran it last year and the year before that. I just made a commitment that I wanted to get one of everything with it.
That's totally fair.
So I've killed an antelope, killed a mule deer, killed a whitetail. I'm not going to add bear to that list because bow hunting bear in general is hard. I did it all last year, and I could have killed a bear. It just was probably smaller than the size of your dogs.
Yeah.
So I decided to pass on that. So
100-pound black bear.
Dude, that's not 100 pounds. It's probably like a tiny little thing. I was like, I'm not. But so yeah, so that's kind of like my overall setup for archery, and that's 75 pounds. I work out a lot, like I said. I felt like at 70, I almost got unstable. It's called like,
Interesting.
which is weird to say. Like I feel like the 100-pound bows work pretty better.
Good.
And the way I kind of conditioned myself for that is like I used to do like a Murph once a week. So like that 100 pull-ups once a week.
Yep.
And that just got my jaw like strength up significantly. The reason I'm not running at 80 pounds with the 80-pound limbs is because I have run it before and it blew up. It's blown up 3 times. So it's blown up 3 times. I'm not trying to have it blow up a fourth because I've made another commitment that if it blows up again, I'm getting a new bow. So 75 pounds is about the perfect amount of push for it.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the kind of weaponry setup, kind of the whole shebang.
Right on.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts?
Go buy a gun. Go buy a bow. Have fun in the backcountry.
Go on. Please.
Go.
Dude, that was so fun. That was so fun. Oh my god. That's so much. Little ASMR for you.
But in reality, shout out to Drift Hydration.
Dude, those guys.
Yep.
Those guys in a product that is as brilliant as that is, are so down to earth and cool.
Yeah.
I cannot recommend their system enough. And I could recommend their system based on how good people are. Not
Yeah, genuinely.
But not even to mention how good and actually worthwhile the product is.
Yeah.
100 times over.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Drift Hydration. You guys make fucking awesome shit. Shout out to Initial Ascent for making the best backcountry hunting backpack
In our opinion.
on the market. No, I think it's just a fact. I think it is.
Very strong opinion.
I own a couple Stone Glaciers. I own a couple Industry Ranges. That Initial Ascent wears better than any other pack I've ever owned.
Yeah.
Shout out to Weatherby for making awesome rifles.
Yeah.
Shout out to Christensen for making awesome rifles. And
yeah, there you go. This is like our big sponsor podcast.
not even, man. I just like when shit works well.
It's easy to talk about.
Yeah.
It's very easy to talk about when you actually believe in the product.
Yep, 100%.
And that's what I 100% believe with every single product we did mention
today. Yeah. And go sign up for a Go Hunt Insider membership.
It's true.
I use it every day.
I use it every day as well.
Fly around Mexico. And the units that I'll be hunting for antelope in.
And not New Mexico, just Mexico.
Just Mexico. Just south of the border.
I'm a personal fan of hunting Guadalajara.
Guadalajara. Jesus Christ.
On
that note,
thank you very much.
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for having us in your home, in your car, on your whatever it is you're doing.
If you are listening, if you're not, tell someone about us.
Fuck you.
No, tell someone about us. If you like our content, we're doing this for fun. We're not trying to solicit money out of you. We're just bullshitting. And if you're like enjoying listening to this, please
tell your friends.
Tell your friends. It's a good time. We're having a good time here. We talk about random shit.
Yeah. And we'll see you at TAC in Red Lodge.
Yes. Montana TAC.
Come say hi.
Come say hi. If I cannot tell you what it would mean to us if we got recognized.
Yeah. I mean, if someone just said, "Hey, I listen to the pod," be like, "Fuck, dude."
First person at TAC to come up and say, "Hey, I listen to the pod," gets a free shirt.
Free shirt, free hat, free stickers.
Done. Yeah, that's the goal. If you say I recognize the pod at TAC and you're not with our group,
yeah,
Chris.
Yeah. Free shirt, free hat.
Free hat.
I mean, we got a pretty cool logo, I think. We're gonna have a lot of cool gear.
Yeah.
Coming down the pipeline, so
yeah.
Say what's up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, make our
or at VHA Rendezvous. I'll be there.
Yes, Taylor Swift will be there.
Yeah. And on that note, bye.
Bye.